Hi, and welcome to another Floral Share video. So we're still exploring balance in this workshop series, especially asymmetrical balance. Now I know last week we started that with a modern take on roses. So this week we're going to create an asymmetrical balance. Remember, it's heavier on one side, usually a little bit taller, and has like a little bit more weight on the other side. We're going to create that using groups of flowers. Now, why do we want to use groups of flowers? What that does is allow each individual type of flower to have a little bit more impact, and then allows your eye to really move around your piece. And that's what you're looking for, is a lot of great movement. Now, before I get into it too far, let's talk about vase choice. First, I saw this one and I really liked the little bubble vase. I thought that was really sweet and very modern. You see them everywhere. But then I looked at this one, and this gives me a little flare on the bottom, and what that's going to do is allow my pieces to actually have a little bit more drape and movement. So this is the one that we're going to go for today. The little bubble bowl, super cute, and would be adequate, of course, but this is our choice. Let's get started. So I want to start this arrangement by using our greens. The greens are going to help build that cage. They're going to interlock each other, and that's what's going to help capture each of our flowers. Now I want to start with this acacia. It's called knife edge acacia, and the knife edge is because these little guys really are quite sharp. It's a fantastic color, and you definitely want to use that little paper towel trick that I've taught you to grab it along the edge and pull down. This is really going to save your fingers. And this is the trick I'll use for each one of these. Okay, I'm going to make that crisscross like I was telling you. And I really want it to be very dominant and heavy with this on this side, and then I'll have a little bit more over here. I love just how naturally almost aggressive this is with these little tiny delicate fronds on the end. It's amazing how just little bits like that just can be so exciting. I love it. A few more of those. Oh, we'll fix that. I'm gonna fix him. Let's see if I can get him back into position. I think that's a little too high. I really want that to be lower because I want that to be dominant. Yeah, better. All right, as I build this, we're gonna have the height up in through here, and then a different kind of weight over here. And what that's going to do is give you that visual balance that we're trying to create. Asymmetrical, even though it's not the same on both sides, they don't mirror, you want the weight to be the same. So if you create height over here and weight over here, you're going to create visual balance. Oh, I just stripped that without my little towel, and man, I will tell you that did not feel great. Let's do as I say and not as I do. Okay, I think I'm gonna save these other little pieces for a just in case. I want something right here. Then we'll put our focal point in there. I think this foliage has a very tropical feel, and that is what I collected were flowers and foliages that gave me a little bit more of a tropical flavor. And when I'm doing an arrangement, I really do like to try to keep a theme. I feel that it's important to tell a story as I go along. So I don't want really super fluffy, delicate flowers. When we're talking about a tropical arrangement, tropicals are really much more dense and electric in their color. So I found this fantastic little pincushion protea little bundle, and it came with some seeded eucalyptus and some little foliages with it. Oh, couldn't resist that for anything. So look at this pincushion protea. He's just fantastic. I love him. Lots and lots of texture. We're going to put him right here in the center. And this is what I mean by grouping. I'm going to put them all together. It's going to give them a lot more impact. Make it look like he's bigger than he really is. Yeah, just like that. Now I'm going to save these. I'm not exactly sure where I want to put them, but they will be used. And then this seeded eucalyptus. So it's usually not quite this delicate. It's really very sweet. I am going to bring this right in through here so it's got some draping. Yeah, just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I just don't think I want quite as much. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, and I don't want to forget the back either, so that's going to go in through here. All right, all of these little bits and pieces I want to save because you know how I've got to fiddle and tweak a little bit later. Let's bring in this height, this big movement through here. I have Bells of Ireland. Not typically tropical, but I really like how it's got some dense shape to it and some great curvature. And that's what I'm going to play with today is some of this curvature, because that's going to help me get direction. We're going to bring all these together. And I want this off to the side. I don't want it straight up and down. Like I said, we are grouping these for impact. Gives it a lot more strength and dominance on this side. And I love how these have some natural curl. I think it gives it a lot of flavor and personality. I think, no, I'm going to put them right in the back and I'll show you, I'll give that a little spin and show you what that looks like in the back. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, let me spin. I'll show you what that looks like. And you can see how it's got all kinds of great movement. Oh, I love the different colors of the greens. I think that's wonderful. Really helps these stand out. Okay, the next thing I want to play with is this weight that I've been talking about here. Now this is called Veronica. Again, not typically tropical, but I really liked this intense color. That's going to help with the weight of this. And we're going to really pack it in right here. And as we build this, you're going to start seeing what I mean. I just love the contrast between that bright orange and this electric purple. That is called a complementary color combination. And we'll definitely get into color. I haven't quite decided how I want to represent the element of color, but I will get there. Let's see. I think I have a hole here. Okay. That's great. Let me give that a little spin too so that you can see how those were formed over there. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. All right, let's get some more color in here. These are fun, this little Crispidia. Just a little pop of color. And I think I'm gonna have him come right in through here. Yeah. Now that we've added the yellow, this now has become a split complementary color combination. And that's because the yellow stands next to the orange, and so now your color combo has now been split. All right, as I'm playing with this, I definitely need to bring some of this forward. Get a little bit more intensity down in through here. I think I want like one that's kind of coming up and just being fun all on his own. Yeah, just creates a little bit of interest, something a little bit silly. He's kind of doing his own thing up there. I like how that came. All right, now that's really all there is for color, just that. And you can see how this weight over here has balanced the height up over here. And I could be finished with it, but you know I'm not. I just have to add just a few more little things. Now I robbed some lily grass from the yard because you know I gotta forage something out there. And I was hoping what I could do is elongate it and give it some really fun movement down on the side. So I'm going to group these together really super tight. Don't be afraid to lift it. It'll be fine. And slowly just push it in. Oh my God, guys, that is, love it, love it. Oh, I find that to be very exciting. Well, this is why I do what I do. I just please myself all the time. Okay, gotta have sticks, sorry. Need a little bit more impact. Place that right in there. You know, love some curly willow. And that's gonna help balance out this over here. Let's see. Yeah, just a little bit more intensity there. Okay, so this is Hypericum, which is the berry off of, it is in the Protea family if I'm correct. I'll research that and you can let me know if I'm wrong on that one. I have so many people say, is that coffee bean? Can you eat that? No, you cannot eat that. Cannot eat that. I think that is what that needed right there. And then of course we need to put one here in the back. It's not just a one-sided arrangement. You want to see it from all sides. In fact, maybe one right here too. And that will carry out that grouping. All right, so I promised that I was going to use these couple of pieces right in through here. I do think I want that. Let's bring this right in through here. All right, guys, get in there. Get in there. Yeah. Let me give this a final little spin, see if I need to make any more adjustments, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did do a little bit of tweaking. I added a little bit more of the seeded eucalyptus here and here, and lowered this a little bit, made sure that these were a little bit more centered. I realized I'd kind of gone off track there a little bit. So let's talk about what makes this balanced, even though it's asymmetrical. So typically with an arrangement, we're still trying to do the 1.5 times the container, whether it be the height or the width. And what we've done is we've got 1.5 times the container going this way, but then we also delicately have it coming this way too. And that's what kind of creates that balance, if you will. This could have been maybe a big heavy leaf that comes out this way, and that would have given that weight as well. This extra long foliage kind of gives that tipping balance, so that like if I kind of turned it all on its side, you'd see that it was balanced. Let's talk money. I think that this is really a very exotic arrangement and not typical of what you would find in your average flower shop, to be honest. It was not difficult to do. I think a beginner can do this, and I think Beginners have a hard time charging for what they do. Do not be afraid to up when you're doing something that is out of the ordinary. Typically, you add up all of your foliage and you add up your container, and most people do 50%. So what that would make this? Probably about $85 to $100. I know some shops can go even higher than that. So guys, if you have any questions or comments about anything that you've seen in this particular video, I'd love to hear from you. And I love hearing where you're watching from. I think that's great. Anyway, see you guys next time.